Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we will be looking at few other data types in Python. So let's get started. In our previous video we have already seen some of the data types like int, float and string, and we saw some of the common operations which we can do on those data types. In this video we will be looking at few more data types like a list, then tuple, sets and dictionary, and we will be seeing what operations we can perform in these data types. So here I have made a quick overview, or we can say summary table for the data types and then what operations we can perform. So if you go below this operations, we can see how we can define a list. It is defined here. Then how we can append an element to a list, and then how we can remove an element from the data type, and finally how we can perform an update operation. This any here means not applicable, so any is not applicable. So the operations which are not applicable I have marked as not applicable for those sections, because here as you can see, in case of updating a list is just adding or removing an element, so this update means nothing to in terms of list, so that is why I have marked it as not applicable. Then we will be looking at why or when to use which kind of data type. So here I will write which kind of data type. So let's get started with the practicals and see how we can define a list. So let me quickly open my Visual Studio Code. So here what I have done is I have already written a program with name pythonvideo3.py, and in this what I have done is I have created a list as we have seen in the previous in the slide here, so or we can say in this document. So here what I have done is I have defined a list and then I have printed the value of that list. Then what I have done is I have added or I have printed that list. So I will just remove this line because it is I think coming twice. So this is before appending. So we have added an element 3 on line number 8, and before printing that before appending that element we have printed the list on line number 7. Then again on line number 9 we have printed the list again after appending 3, and then finally we have removed the element 2 from the list and then again printed the list. So and then finally here in this list can contain, so I would like to highlight this point, shift home control X, and let me paste it here. So here you can see a list can contain any data type. So what I have done is I have created another list L1, and in this I have put several other type of data apart from integer. So this list is containing what you can say a string, character and 2 integer type of data. So this is also a list which has different kinds of data type stored in it. So in Python it is not hard coded that a list should contain a similar data type, but yes, whenever we use a list we usually assume that we are storing similar kind of data into it. So let me print this quickly and see what we are getting here. So here you can see pardon me for this error, and let me run this again. So here you can see that before appending 3 to this list we have got 1, 2 as our list. Then when we appended 3 to our list on line number 8 and then printed the list again on line number 9, we got this 1, 2, 3 in our list, and then finally we removed element 2 from our list using the remove function. So we got 1, 3 in our list. Then we have again printed list L1, which is containing different kind of data in it, and this gives me output as 1 2, then Sam, and then finally A. So this is these are the things which we should note about the list. And then there are few advanced operation which we can perform on list. So first operation that I want to discuss here is slice. So if suppose you have a list L1 which we have defined on line number 15, and you want to print only the first element of that list, so you can do so by using the index of that element along with the name of the list. And this is how we do it, which I have printed on line number 21. And if you want to pick any slice of this list, then you can use the indexes of those elements as a references to print that particular section of a list. So what do I mean by this is, let's suppose I want to print only the first 3 elements of my list. So what I have done is I have mentioned that I want to print list L1 from starting from index 0 and print it till the index 3. So here index 3 element is exclusive, means it will not be printed, and only the elements at index 0 and 1 and 2 will be printed on my screen. So you can see that 1 comma 2 comma Sam has been printed on my console. So if I do it like this, then let's see what we get as output. So here you can see it is saying that print list L1 and print only the element starting from 0 until 2. So it does not include 2. So here we should note that start index is inclusive, and end index is exclusive while printing a list. So this is how we perform slice operation in list. Then we have another operation, that is a split operation in list in Python. So to perform this, let me quickly define what you can say, another string, and let's say it says hello Python programming. So if suppose I want to store this string into a list, and I want that every word in this string should be stored as a separate element in our list, then to do that we simply can do split this L3 string and use space as a delimiter. So I will put space here, and I will store it into the what you can say, into home. Let me say this is L3 string, and then I store it inside L3 string, and let me store it inside a list L3, and then finally print L3. So what will happen now is that this L3 string will first be broken into 3 separate words, because we have used space as a delimiter here, and then it will be stored inside L3. And since the output which is returned by this split function is a list, so it will store the what you can say hello Python programming into this list L3 in as a separate element. So let me quickly print this, and here you can see that we got hello Python programming printed on our screen, that is print L3, and it is of type list. And to prove that, we can simply write what is type of L3. So here you can say again that L3 is an object of type list which belongs to a class list. So these are the few operations which we perform or we can perform on a list. So now moving on further to tuples. So we have seen that to define a list we simply use a square bracket. So for tuples let me use the word t, and if I want to define a list I would just do it like this 1 comma 2, but if we want to define a tuple we should use this parenthesis and it becomes a tuple. So to prove it, let me say what is the type of t, then you can see what I get as an output. Here is it says that t belongs to a class, t is an object of class tuple. So here we have proved that t is a tuple. Again, other way to do the same thing is we can also do it like this. So if there are no brackets mentioned, then by default in Python we have we get a tuple created. So let me print it again and let me see what is the type of t1. So let's see what we get as an output, and here you can see again it says that t and t1 both are object which belongs to class tuple. So if we want to define a tuple we can simply use a parenthesis, or we can say we can ignore we can also leave the parenthesis and it will define this as a tuple. Now tuple has a property that it is immutable, and what do we mean by this is that let's suppose I want to say t dot append anything to it, then let's see what it does, and it says tuple object has no attribute append. So there is no function as such to add an element to a tuple, and it is what do you say, if once a tuple is defined it cannot be changed. So let me do it another way. Let me say t1 plus 3 and let's see what it does now. So here you can see that it can only concatenate tuple and not into a tuple. So what I will do is I will say I will just say that change this, and to define a tuple let me use 3 comma 4 here, and let me run this program again and let me print t1. So here you can see what it has done is earlier we defined a tuple t1. So when we did this thing t1 equals to t1 plus 3 comma 4, what it has done is it will create a new object t1 and it will not what you can say add to the previous object and print and create a new tuple and will add 3 comma 4 to it. So what do I mean by this? Let me print the id, then it will be more clear. t1 id of t1. So let me print this, print on line number 36 there is some problem, print the id. Okay, there is one bracket missing. So here you can see that one way when we first defined our tuple here, on line number 33 we defined our first tuple, so it printed that it belongs to class tuple. Then what we did is we printed the id or the object, what we can say object memories or the particular memory space which it was covering, it was assigned an id, and this id was 140 something, starting with 140 and ending with 512. Then what we did is we printed that what kind of object t1 is, then it said that it is a kind of tuple. And then what we did is we changed t1 and we added 3,4 to it. Then what Python did internally is it created another object t1 and it stored the value of t1 plus the new tuple was added 3,4 to it, and it was stored inside t1, which is a new object created, and the previous t1 object still remained intact. So that is why this is called as that is why tuple is called as immutable, because it will just create a new object, and the object once created cannot be changed in Python. So this is how tuple works in Python. And what we have seen here is we cannot add an element to the existing tuple, but yes, whenever we do such kind of operation, then a new object will be created, and the previous object will still remain in memory and will have this id. So if we want to what you can say, so if we want to add an element to a tuple, it's not possible. And similarly for the remove and update operation, these operations cannot be performed on tuple. So let's move further to sets. So to define a set, we have this notation. We have to use this curly brace notation. So let me quickly go to set. So here we have seen that tuples are immutable, and we use parentheses to define them. Now to define a set, let me use word s, and then quickly define a set 1,2, and then print the type of s. So here you can see in the output that it says that class s, the s is an object which belongs to the class set. So we have proved, or we have seen, that s is of type set. And now what I will do is I will just add an element to set s, and I will print it again, and let's see what we get as an output. So we see that now we get 1 2 3, and the curly brace is printed around these elements. So this is how a set is represented in Python. And to add an element, we have used as dot add to a set. So let me use s dot remove. So remove is a function, and then we want to remove 1 from it, and then we will quickly print its value. So let's see, and then let's see what we get as an output. So we got 2 3. So you can see that how we can remove element from a set in Python. So it is using remove function. So this is how we remove a element from a set s. So now what is the use, or what is the difference between a set and a list in Python? Because in list we have seen that there is append and remove, and in case of set also there is add and remove. So nearly both the data type have the same kind of operation. So in case of set, the major thing which we use is that it is used to perform operations like this. So let me take an example. Suppose you have set s1, and then you have a set s2, and 3 comma 4 comma 5. And what you want to do is you just want to print s1 comma difference, then s2, and let's see now what it prints. So here you can see that it is saying that it will just print the elements of s1 which are not present in s2. So it is saying that the difference between s1 and s2 will be printed, and difference along with only the elements of the set s1 will be printed. So let me hover over it, and you can see that what it says, it is saying that all elements that are in this set but not the others. So here what we are printing is s1 elements will be printed which are not present on in s2. So if suppose I want to print some what you can say common elements of s1 and s2, I can not common element, okay, let me print common element first. So if I want to print the common elements of s1 and s2, then I can simply do it using intersection, and now you can see that 4 comma 5 is present in both the set s1 and s2, and therefore it prints 4 comma 5. So you can see it is similar to the sets operation which is taught in mathematics. So if you have similar kind of what you can say task or requirement, then you can make use of sets. So this is what sets is mainly used for. So this is the scenario when we will be making use of sets. And again we have seen that remove and add are the functions which are available to add or remove an element from a set. Then coming finally to the dictionaries. So to define a dictionary, let me move to my Visual Studio Code again, and let's define a dictionary. So I am using letter D here for dictionary, and simply we can write here as Sam, and this is how we define a dictionary in Python. So let me run it, and you can see that it has printed all the elements. Now let's say I want to print the value only, and not the, and I want to print the value which is corresponding to the key name. So how I can do it? I can do it this way. So here you can see that what I have given print the value as a key as D, that is the name of the dictionary, and name as the key. So it has given me the output as a value, so value of this key. So name is the key here and Sam is the value here. So dictionary is basically used whenever we have a data of type key value, and we want to store in some data type. So we have dictionaries in Python. So now let's say I want to add an element to this. So how I can do this? So I just simply need to write roll number, and then I can say 20. So what I'm doing here is I'm defining a new key, that is roll number in D, and I'm giving it as a value of 20, and I have printed enter, and then I will print a D again, and let's see what we can get as an output. So here you can see that a new key, that is roll number, has been added to our existing dictionary D, and it has got the value of 20. Now let's say I want to delete this. So to delete, here we have pop function, and what I want to pop here is I want to want to delete name from here. Let's see, I forgot the syntax for this, so let me quickly do it. Then print my d again. So here you can see sorry so here you can see that what I have done is I have popped an element from our dictionary D, and I am saying that pop this key value pair from my dictionary D, and it has successfully deleted the key value pair name and this Sam from my dictionary and has given me output as roll number 20. So this is how we perform the delete operation in our dictionary. And finally we have an update function as well. So let us quickly see how to use this update operation. Sorry. So let's say I want to update my this roll number, and I want it to be changed to 21. So I can simply do it like this, and let me print my d again. Okay, it is saying that it's a wrong syntax. Let me check the syntax again. It is saying key colon value. Okay, there is some mistake. D parenthesis, this was not closed. Let me quickly see d comma update, then this, then it is saying that what we want to do is we just want to update our roll number and we want it to be 31, and then finally we want to close the bracket. So one bracket closed, second bracket closed, and then finally we want to, let us remove this one, go to the end. Okay, I think there's a miss somewhere. It is. Let me quickly Google it up. So docs.python.org, or we can also see in the previous tutorial, as we have seen that you can also use help here. Let's see if it shows any help. No help is there because it belongs to this. Let me search dictionaries, data structure, expression, built-in data types. So let me move to dictionaries quickly. Dictionaries. List tuples, then range, text sequences, strings. This was bitwise operator. set, where is this dictionary? Dictionary. Okay, so to delete any element we can do it like this in dictionary, and to dictionary view, mapping type, dictionary. Okay. So let's see if we have anything here. No. We can also update it like this using this one. Let's use this method. So what I want is, I want to update my dictionary roll number to 31, and let's see what we get now. So here you can see that it has successfully updated my roll number to 31 from 20. So this is how we can update our dictionary. So let me quickly change this and write here as the key and then the new value. So this is how you can update your dictionary. Now let us quickly discuss when to use which kind of data type. So we have seen that operation where we have the requirement that operation where elements needs to be added or removed frequently, then we generally make use of list. So here we will use list, and this is of type mutable, which means that the object to which we are performing the operation will be changed and not a new object is created. Now the point number B says operation where element needs not to be needs to be or element operation where element needs to be constant and no editing can be done. So we know that in this case we should use or make use of tuples. Now special operation are to be performed like union and intersection, so we know here that we should make use of sets. And finally, when our values are in key value format, then we know that the best thing is to use the dictionaries. So hope you would have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can ping or comment on my video and I will be happy to answer it. So thank you all for your time.